Alright guys, so now it's time to take a look at the most important TradingView tools you need to know about. One thing that is important to note here is that the tools I'm going to show you guys can be used on the daily time frame, but they can also be used on pretty much all time frames. But alright, so the very first tool I want to show you guys is this tool right here. If you press on the trendline tools and then simply go to the trend line and you select the trend line. This right here is one of the most important tools and you will use this one a lot. To use this tool, what you do is that you simply press on one point on the chart and then you drag your mouse and you press on another point. So by doing this, we can draw a line that slopes upwards. To draw a new line, you have to once again select the line, and you can do that by simply clicking right here. So now we have another trend line selected, and if we want to, perhaps we want to draw some sort of trend channel, then we can draw another line like this. And now you might wonder, what are these trend line tools used for? Well, first of all, as I already pretty much showed you, we can use this tool to draw trends. So if you look at this Tesla chart right here, you can see that by looking at this price, you can see that it looks like the price is in an uptrend. In order to have an uptrend, we need to print consecutive higher lows, right? But we also need to print higher highs. And here is where we can actually use our trend line tool. So what I do here, I go up, I select the trend line right here. And in order to draw an uptrend, what we want to do is that we want to connect the lows of a trend. So we draw the trend line like this, we adjust it a bit here. We want to have as many touches as possible. So right here, we have a trend line defining an uptrend. But now, if you guys want to draw a trend channel, this is basically when we have two lines. We have one line at the top and one line at the bottom. I actually have a trick for this. In order to have an exact parallel line, what you want to do is that you want to press on your current line, then you press Ctrl plus C, and then you press Ctrl plus V. By doing that, as you can see, we will have the exact same line. This is a line that we just copy and paste, and we can simply draw this line like this. And as you can see, just like that, we have a beautiful uptrend. But as you can see, Tesla is right now testing the low or the bottom line of this trend. So if we get a strong break below this upward sloping line, that could actually be a first signal that the trend might reverse to actually a downtrend, or that the trend might reverse to a sideways market. That's one thing that is important to notice, that just because a trend stops doesn't mean that it will reverse in the opposite direction. It can simply go from, for example, an uptrend to a sideways trend. But now, yet another use case of the trendline tool is to draw patterns. And more specifically, we usually draw something called chart patterns. So let's say that we have a price movement that looks something like this. We have the price, it goes up, then it starts to move sideways here. But during the sideways market, you can see that the price prints higher lows, right? So this right here is actually an example of a chart pattern called an ascending triangle. And this is another case where we can use the trend line. So we can use the trend line here to actually draw out the triangle. You will see, so we draw one trend line like this, then we select it again and draw one trend line like this. And as you can see, here we have drawn a triangle looking structure. So the two main use cases, I would say, of trend lines is to draw chart patterns and to draw trends. But we do have some more use cases as well, but these are pretty much the only ones you have to know for now. All right, so that's great. Now you know about the trendline tool. Another tool you need to know about is the tool a little bit down here called horizontal line. And this right here is a tool you can use to draw key support and resistance levels on the chart. So if you look here at Tesla, you can, for example, see that right here, this was quite a while ago, but you can see that we saw a clear, the price got rejected at that level, and it looks like we got a reaction once again right here and once again right here. So here we might have some sort of resistance, right? And this is where the horizontal line comes in. So to repeat, to choose the horizontal line, you first go and click horizontal line right here, and then to select the line, you want to make sure to just press right here. So this one is blue. Now, to draw the horizontal line, you simply click on the chart like this. And as you can see, just like that, we draw a very nice resistance level. And if you look closely, what happened when we broke the resistance? Well, when the price pushed above the resistance, this was actually the beginning of a massive move towards the upside, right? So that was indeed a very important resistance. However, what I like to do for both support and resistance levels is to actually use another tool. So this horizontal line tool is something you need to know about and should learn, but what I use for support and resistance is actually another tool. To open this tool, what you want to do is that you go down here to where it says geometric shapes. You press right there and you go down to the rectangle tool. So this tool is pretty much like a horizontal line, but here by using this tool, as you can see, we can draw a sort of area instead of a perfect line. I also actually want to customize this one a bit. Let's make the border black here, and we can use the background. I prefer something like maybe a little bit gray, something like this, right? So we can draw it like this. So now you might wonder, why do I use the rectangle tool? Well, the reason for this is that support and resistance levels will never pretty much be perfect lines. In real life and in real markets, these support and resistance will often more be sort of zones. As you, for example, can see in this example, the first resistance was right here. The second resistance was a little bit lower. The third resistance was a little bit higher. So it's very rare that you will have these perfect touches where every single time the price reverses at the same level. It's better to adopt the mindset that support and resistance are more similar to zones compared to lines. So that is why I think the rectangle tool is very useful. And this tool actually have other use cases as well, so stay tuned for that. And now for the next tool, I actually once again want to switch back to the Bitcoin chart, because this is one of my favorite examples of this specific tool. So let's go back here to Bitcoin and let's search for BTC and go to Bitcoin on Coinbase. And make sure that you are on the daily time frame, and I want to go back here to the last bull run because this example is so perfect right here. The next tool I want to show you guys is called the Fibonacci retracement. And to open up the Fibonacci, what you simply do is that you click here where it says GAN and Fibonacci tools, and you press on this arrow. Then you want to simply go down here and click on Fib retracement. And to understand this tool, let's actually first go to just a blank chart so I can show you guys. To draw this tool, what you do, you make sure that you select this one so it appears blue. Then you press on one spot on the chart, then you drag the tool down and you press on another spot on the chart. And as you can see, just like that, you will have multiple lines, or in other words, multiple Fibonacci levels will appear, and you will also have these numbers just next to the lines. And now, to understand the Fibonacci, you need to first of all know what does these numbers even mean. Well, first of all, you can see that it says 1 right here. And this simply means 100%. The next number right here, 0.786, simply means 78.6%. This next number right here, this is an especially important Fibonacci number, the 0.618. If you are new to trading, you might even have heard about this number, but this is a very common number. This one simply means 61.8%, and so on and so on. So these numbers are just percentages. And now you might wonder, why, how do we use these percentages? Well, now let's go back to the chart here. and take a look at how we actually use the Fibonacci tool. So first of all, what we can see here, this was the Bitcoin bull run from all the way back here in 2021. And you can see that we are in a clear uptrend because we're printing higher lows, and we're also printing higher highs. And to use the Fibonacci, you want to anchor the Fibonacci at the low in an uptrend, and then you drag it up to the high. So you can see I anchor from the low circle right here, drag it up to the high circle. And now let me delete the drawing and zoom in a bit here. So what are the Fibonacci numbers actually tell us? Well, you can see it says 0 right here, and that means 0%. It says 0.236 here, that means 23.6%. And this means that the price have been pulling back, or it has dropped 23.6% of the initial move. I hope this makes sense. The initial move is 100%, and from this line right here, the price has dropped 23.6%. So if the price drops down to the yellow line, it has dropped 38.2%. Oops, sorry about that. And if the price drops all the way down to the 0.5 line, the price has dropped 50% of the initial move. And the good thing about the Fibonacci tool is that most pullbacks will actually end somewhere in this area. So somewhere in between the 0.382 and the 0.618. And as you can see in this example, the price went up, it came down here to the middle of this area, and then it exploded to the upside. So this was where the price reversed in this example. And the reason I really like this example, as you can see, is that this chart is perfect. We use the same method right here. From low to high, the price pulls down to the 0.5 area, then we see the next move. And we can actually repeat this process even further. So once again, we can drag from low to high. In this case, the price went a little bit more down. You can see it went down here, but it's still reversed in this area between the 0.382 to 0.618. All right, so the next important tool I want to show you guys real quick is a tool that can be found right here where it says forecasting and measurement tools. If you press on this button right here, you can see that we have a long position and we have a short position. The long position is a tool, let's choose this one, that you can choose and draw out on your chart by just clicking like this. And this is where you bet that the market will go up. So this is the classic thing when you, for example, buy a stock or buy a cryptocurrency, you want the market to go up. And this right here is a tool that you use when you have decided where to buy. So let's say that you use the Fibonacci tool and you also found another pattern right here. This right here is called a bullish engulfing pattern. So let's say that you buy right here. So you buy Bitcoin right here. What you then do is that you click forecasting and measurement tools. You use the long position and you use this tool at the level you bought. So this is where you use this tool. And this tool is then used to measure your target level. This is where you sell and get your potential profit. And you also have the stop loss level. This is the level that if the price goes below that level, you will automatically sell. So let's say in this case that you place the stop loss just below the lows of the pullback. You can see we have a low right here, low right here. So we set the stop loss just below that zone, right? And then depending on your strategy, you can set different target levels. So let's say that you have a 3-to-1 risk to reward. This means that the green length here is 3 times larger than the length down to the red line. And this means that when you win 3 times more compared to when you lose. This is a common risk to reward. And to do this, you simply drag up your target until it says 3 right here on the risk to reward. And just like that, you have planned your long position trade. And the opposite is of course also true for the short position. Let me quickly go over that one. So this, you once again go to forecasting and measurement tools, you click short position right here. This is the tool you use when you bet that the market will go down. So you can see that this is the opposite. Now we have the green area pointing downwards here, and we have the stop loss. So let's say we want to do a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Now you can see 3-to-1 risk to reward, and you enter the price start right here. And your goal when you use this short position is that the price will go down to this point. Then you lock in your profit and make money. Alright, so this video was actually just a clip from our full TradingView tutorial for 2025. To access the full tutorial, simply click or tap on the screen right here. I hope I will see you all over there very, very soon.